Hey Townies, my name's Philip and you're watching the Mountain City Show. Hey, if you could, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything. It's free. And don't forget to click the bell.
The bell?
Yeah.
What's the bell?
Bell notifies them every time we have a new video. So make sure you click the bell.
It's free. It costs you nothing. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks. All right, so we were going to talk about education. What's happening with elementary schools?
Yeah, the 6-year-old Virginia boy who shot and wounded his first grade teacher.
Wow. They had to have warning
Newport
signs.
News.
They have warning signs?
Yes.
Because that's important.
Apparently, he choked another teacher till she couldn't breathe. And he would chase the students around, tried to whip them with his belt. Let's see, what else do we got in here from this kid? 2 days before the shooting, the boy slammed his teacher's cell phone and broke it. He was given a 1-day suspension, but when he returned to the, I'm not sure how you say her name, Zwerner's class the next day, he pulled out a 9mm handgun out of his pocket and shot her while she sat at a reading table.
Oh, my God.
Yes.
There had to be warning signs with that kid.
They searched his backpack but didn't find a gun. Apparently, she had reported to her principal that he was more off. She advised her that the shooter seemed more off than usual and was in a violent mood.
Oh, my God.
And it also says the boy had threatened to beat up a kindergarten student and angrily stared down the school security officer in the lunchroom.
Oh, wow. That's horrible. Like, where were the parents?
Assistant Principal Parker should have called police. Instead, she did not follow proper protocol and chose to do absolutely nothing.
Wonder what type of children the families are. They're probably affluent, like wealthy families.
I don't know, but
you know
I
mean?
My daughter is going through the same thing right now at a school in Frederick, a very good school. Mm-hmm. You know, a lot of the students that go there, they're you know, they come from very good families. What is it I want to say? They're economically really
they're
good
in the
position.
They're in the upper
class.
percentile of income.
Yes.
So they're educated.
She has a 5-year-old in kindergarten that is abusing the living shit out of him. He ripped her sweater yesterday, spit in her face, kicked her.
Didn't he threaten her?
Oh, yes. He told her he was going to bring a knife to school and stab her.
Oh, my God.
Okay. He's literally beating the shit out of the staff every day in there. He spit in the principal's face twice.
Wow.
So they had a meeting with the parents yesterday.
Yeah.
And nothing came out of it.
How can nothing come out of that?
Nothing came out of it. He's going to a therapist and he's expressing himself.
You freaking kidding me?
And I said, there is something wrong with this picture.
So, like, the first thing that goes through my mind.
5-year-old, you're supposed to let a 5-year-old assault the shit out of you every day. What about the safety of the teachers and everyone around him?
Right.
And I told my daughter, Kylie, I said, listen, you know, honestly, I said, document everything.
Yes.
Because if something happens, you're going to go on the national news.
Yep.
And you can say you brought it to everybody's attention.
Correct. I think that, first off, if kids start threatening, you know, violence or, you know, to really harm someone, number one, I don't know what the policies are for that, but the first thing that would go through my mind is that anytime that child came through that school, we're going to pull him up and go through all his shit and all his gear.
Yep.
And we're going to pat him down every day to make sure he doesn't have a weapon.
Yep.
As soon as he hits
And
there.
so he went to school and, you know, after all this happened, and no one did that. They didn't check his backpack. They checked nothing.
Yep. And you just...
And this is every day they have to call his mom to come get him.
He's abusing his mother,
and then
too, isn't he?
Yes. And then he's
Probably his
kicking
parents.
and doing whatever to his mother. I'm like, who is running this situation? This is a 5-year-old. This 5-year-old is in charge of all these adults.
He is.
He's
and he knows
literally dictating everything to all these adults.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he is.
Now, either he's
absolutely
super
doing
smart or he needs to go to Brook Lane.
Probably both, I would think. Yeah, I mean, he should go somewhere. If he keeps doing
Obviously, and let me tell you something, parents.
Right?
If your kid is continuing to do this, obviously he needs more than a psychologist.
Yeah, he needs his ass
He's
whipped.
going to a psychologist. It sounds to me like he needs to go to a psychiatrist.
Right? He needs to go to a home.
Right?
Because he's going to hurt people.
And his parents should be in counseling with him.
Yes, because here's the thing.
Because don't send poor little Johnny. That's not the kid's name, by the way. I'm just
We're making one up.
making one up. Poor little Johnny. He has to go in there and be counseled every day.
Yeah.
And where's the parents? They should be in there because they're part of the problem.
Well, yeah, here's the thing, too. So if they don't resolve this now, right now,
he's going to kill somebody.
something horrible is going to happen.
He is going to hurt someone.
He will.
Yes.
And he's 5. He has no clue what he's doing.
And if it's my daughter, I'm going to take down the whole school board.
Oh, absolutely. Everybody.
I will take them all
From the
down.
top of the state of Maryland all the way down.
Because this is ridiculous. We need to reform how we're doing this.
Yes.
You cannot let kids, threaten and physically abuse.
Yeah, why wouldn't they call the
staff.
police once that boy threatened
And
them?
you're going to keep letting this child, I'm sorry, but the school board needs to say, wait a minute here.
Enough's
there has
enough.
to be a limitation. If your child's going to do that, they're not going to school here.
Correct.
Period.
Yep, send them
Period.
somewhere else.
It's disrupting everybody. No one feels safe. My poor daughter dreads going to her job every day because of this one little kid. He's 5.
Yeah, right? Like, I can't
I mean,
imagine.
you know how little these 5-year-olds are?
they're
Don't you remember
tiny.
when your child went to kindergartner?
Yeah.
And he's going with his little backpack? They're so tiny.
Yeah, they have no idea
They're
what's
just tiny
going
little
on. They
kids.
just follow along.
And it's like,
So where'd this kid learn this behavior? Because he had to learn it somewhere at 5 years old.
they don't want to, the parents and stuff don't want to suspend him because they don't want to associate the discipline and make it him negative about going to school. The way they did this is so
What?
fucked up. Yes. So if you discipline him, then it will deter him from going to school. That's what she conveyed to me.
So if
he has repercussions for that behavior, they don't want to associate school with bad repercussions because then he won't go to school.
Oh, so you mean they don't want to associate school with correction, with correcting his behavior?
I guess
I mean,
so.
we're with the shit.
I mean, is this screwed up or what?
It's the most insane thing I've ever heard.
And needless to say, I could see why teachers don't want to be teachers.
I wouldn't.
And counselors don't want to be there. And she said every day there's an incident with this kid.
Oh my God, he can't be in the school.
I mean, kicking.
You got to do something with him. You can't put up with that.
And
like, what's it going to take?
biting.
Someone getting shot. Someone getting shot.
Yeah.
Like happened in Virginia.
He told her, that he was going to bring a knife to school and kill her.
That's insane.
Stab her.
Then that means automatic protocol right there.
You know, when we were in school, they paddled kids.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Mr. Thompson,
Yep.
Bell High School.
Yep.
If you were bad, you got sent to the principals, and if it was real bad, he had 3 paddles on the wall.
Yep.
2 of them had holes in them.
Yep. They did.
And he would paddle your rear end.
Yep. They did it in elementary school too.
I'm sorry, but we cater to too many emotional feelings.
Yeah. Right.
Sometimes
Yeah. No. It's
I say,
wrong. The whole way they handle that is completely wrong.
Obviously
Completely
the kid's
wrong.
in charge of his parents.
Yeah, he's running that house.
He's running that whole household.
He's running the entire house. Running the house.
I mean, it's sick.
It is.
So I worry about her every day at school, wondering, is she going to make it through the day?
Yeah, it's
what
the
is
day
this
of the
kid
day.
going to do? And why aren't they patting him down and checking his backpack?
They should every day. First
And
thing.
I told her, I said, listen, you just don't check his backpack. You make sure you check his little pockets, his coat,
Check his coat,
hat,
pockets.
his shoes.
Yep. You check everything.
You make him take his shoes off.
Yep. everything.
Check his shoes.
And that should be
and
automatic.
say, if you're going to threaten people, then I'm sorry, we have to do this.
Yep.
If you stop doing this, we won't have to do this.
Yep. Every day.
I mean, you can't reason with a 5-year-old.
No, there's no reasoning.
They're
they
5.
Yeah, they don't understand it.
They're 5.
Yeah, they don't understand it at all.
No.
At all.
So
I can't imagine having a kid like that.
It sounds familiar. I have to put on my reading specs here, but this sounds so familiar to what she's been going through. You know, this teacher getting, shot. And they knew this stuff. This person was a problem. This child was a problem.
Huge problem.
And, she's suing, and I would sue the shit out of them too.
Yeah.
Because
so
we all want our kids to do well and get an education.
It would almost be like if that was me in her situation and that little boy kept threatening me, I'd be like, that's enough. I'm going to call the police and I'm going to press charges on you.
And not only that, I would hold the principal accountable.
Yep.
Everybody over me.
Then they'd be like, why are the police here? Well, you're not doing anything and I want to press charges on him because I feel
threatened. School board,
threatened.
I don't care what I'd have to sue. Mm-hmm. It would be on.
All of them.
Yep.
All of them.
Because you are a counselor and you're telling these people, or a teacher, and telling these people, this is, you scared to go in your classroom because a 5-year-old kid, 6-year-old kid?
Yeah,
No,
that's unacceptable.
No.
Unacceptable.
But it's happening right now
I
at
mean,
my daughter's school.
Now, don't get me wrong. There are kids that are probably 100% psychopaths because there are people like that.
That's what I'm saying.
But
he needs to go to a psychiatrist and really
figure out what's going on with him.
not a psychologist.
No.
Put him in with a psychiatrist where they really know what's happening.
Yeah, and he
here.
should not be attending school until this is figured out.
Yes.
So that means I'm sorry.
He's a threat to everyone.
He is a
in
threat.
there.
He has the
He's
potential
a problem
to be
and a threat.
Yeah, he has the potential to do harm and violence.
And you don't know that he could have something mentally wrong with him.
He could. So the best,
or he's just a fucking brat.
And that could be
controlling everybody because he's had his way his entire life.
Yep, that's true.
And when he doesn't like when things aren't his way, he gets violent.
Yep,
you don't know. I mean, it's either or, but I can say it should not be allowed in schools. There should be a limitation to this.
There should be. There absolutely
calling
should be.
in the parents, and then some of these parents are wacko too.
Oh yeah.
Oh well, we don't want to associate negative consequences with school because then he won't want to come to school.
Sorry about your luck,
it sounds
kid.
to me like you don't fucking want to be there anyway if he's telling everybody he's going to kill him.
Yeah, that or he's.
And this isn't the first occasion where he has said that he's going to kill people.
Well, then he shouldn't be in the school.
No.
Should not be in the school.
So, Frederick, if that happens down there.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
Better not be my daughter. That's all I have to say about it.
That would be.
Well, I told her to get out of there.
Yeah, they're definitely liable.
She's applying back here. I don't want her down around that crap.
Negligence, all that. I mean, they would absolutely. Parents.
That's horrible.
It is. There's no way that. I mean, even when I remember going to school and there was a couple boys. Actually, there was one girl, but a couple boys who were just uncontrollable. I mean, no matter what, they would get up, run around, scream, throw shit all the time. And you know what? It got to the point where they were no longer in the school.
Yeah.
They weren't there anymore.
This kid should have been suspended for sure. He wasn't suspended. Nothing happened to him. He's back in school.
I'm pretty sure that like the principal of a school has a lot of power.
I hope they got video in that school. They should have video in that school.
She needs to document everything. If she documents everything in the proper way with her profession.
Because if he was at a psychiatrist, they could look at those.
Oh yeah, they could.
Fits he's having in there.
Oh yeah, and see what's going on. Just on his behavior.
Analyze that behavior.
Yeah, they have
that
to
environment.
And it makes you wonder how often that goes on.
I don't know.
I would imagine it goes on a lot.
But it doesn't sound good.
So it almost seems.
And I mean, if I had my little 5-year-old daughter in there going to school with a kid like that.
Oh no.
In that classroom with that kid that's doing that right now, currently.
Nope. Nope.
And those poor parents don't even know.
Yeah, they have no idea what's happening.
They don't even know they have a child that is so disruptive and physically harming and threatening people. They have no idea.
No,
the parents whose children are going to school with this child.
Yep.
Don't you think that I would want to know if I was sending my little 5-year-old in there?
Oh, I would.
I would want to know.
Oh, I would, because they wouldn't be going.
No.
At all.
Me neither. I wouldn't.
At all.
I said,
at all.
Nope. I was talking to someone on the phone this morning, and we were discussing that. And I said, if that was my child going to school with that child, I would pull my kid out of there.
So I had a funny story. So when Noah was little, wasn't funny. So when Noah was little, there was a little boy in his first grade class, kindergarten class. So in kindergarten, he had this little boy in there with him. Well, he grabbed his glasses and broke them, right? So the next year in first grade, he grabs his glasses again and breaks them. All right, so, I mean, I have health care. They pay for the glasses. So that's 2. Okay. And what happens a third time, like a month later? And they tell Noah's mom that we're responsible for the glasses. And I went, no. I go, you tell them I want to meet them now. Mm-hmm. She was like, well, I'm going down there now. I go, well, you tell them.
It would have been one time for me.
I go, you tell them I'm on my way to see them, right? So I get down there, and it's a meeting with the principal, the vice principal, and Noah's teacher. Mm-hmm. And they go, well, Mr. Merling, we, this little, I can't remember the little boy's name. That's okay. He pulled Noah's glasses off his face. I go, and broke them. I went, okay. I go, so this is the third time. I go, I'm thinking after the first time, you should have put him in different classrooms. Yeah. Right? And you didn't. I go, and now you're telling me that you want me to go and pay for another pair after I've already paid for 2. Yes. I tell you what's going to happen. I go, you're going to pay for them. I go, and you're going to tell me right now, and you're going to give the money to his mother.
It's not even about that at this point. Is he being bullied?
Right?
Was he being bullied?
Right?
What has happened? That's more of a concern to me right now than the glasses.
Right?
What is transpiring between these kids that this keeps happening?
They told me that this boy was a huge disruptive problem.
Well.
And I went, look, I go, this is simple. I go, you're not going to put him in the same classroom with my son.
Yeah.
As of right now. Never. I go, and then with the glasses, you are going to give her money today. If you don't, and she calls me on the phone, I am going to go down to small claims court. I can sue you for up to $7,000, and I'm going to sue you for them.
Yeah.
I go, so you literally have 3 hours to give her the money, or I'm going to the courthouse to sue you.
Yeah.
Pick one. I go, it cost me $80. I go, I'd rather give him my $80, put all of you in front of a judge, and then we'll see what happens. Uh-huh. Well, she had the money in 20 minutes.
Well, and like I said, it's about that kid being disruptive.
Yeah, he shouldn't be there.
I mean, he's physically doing things to other kids. I just don't understand. Like, putting security in these schools, because Kylie's school has a security officer. Mm-hmm. But I'm telling you, it's messed up.
It is messed up.
Okay, he's in there so he could, this kid could still stab my daughter, shoot my daughter, do whatever to her.
Yep.
Because that security officer can't be there to
all the time
hold that kid's hand the whole time he's in school every day.
He's not there for that.
He shouldn't be in school, period.
No, he shouldn't.
He needs to be diagnosed or something.
Yeah, he shouldn't be diagnosed, and then the appropriate treatment for him, or
and it's probably parents don't want to be bothered.
I think that's what it is.
They don't want to be bothered.
He just throws us fit, and okay, I'll give you what you want, so you stop.
Yeah.
And it's just continued for so long that it's just got to the...
let me tell you, if I had been the principal of that school, I would have been hard on those parents, too.
Oh, it'd have been over immediately.
This has got to cease.
Like, you have one more chance.
And I'd have the security officer in there with me, and probably the assistant principal, and the counselor in there, who is going to verify what is happening here.
Yeah, what's going on with this kid?
Like, this is too much. We cannot allow this.
Yeah, they can't accommodate that.
No.
They can't
but
accommodate
they're too worried about being sued by those parents.
Oh,
probably.
Yeah. I guarantee they are. They don't want to be sued. They don't want to lose their jobs. They don't want to lose their position.
If something happens, sue their parents, too, because they know about it.
Oh, I would.
You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
They know little Johnny's being threatening people. I mean, literally beating the shit out of my daughter every day, and the other counselors in there. I would say, No, I would sue his parents, too.
Oh, I would. Everybody.
Because y'all knew.
Oh, and you're going to win. It's an automatic
Y'all
thing.
knew.
It's an automatic win.
I told her you document everything in detail.
You have to. You don't have a choice. And shame on the principal for not taking action.
I find that a lot in any kind of leadership management positions where...
I have.
They're not really leaders.
No, here's
what
you get.
They're not effective.
No, what you get, and I can tell you this.
They're not. They don't have a spine or backbone to do the right thing.
Even if something...
They'd rather ignore it.
Yeah, so here's a great example. So if somebody say somebody runs an entity, a large entity, right? Even if somebody tells him to do something that is 100% wrong and will get people harmed or whatever, he'll do it anyway, just because that person said. Right? That's not how you lead people.
No.
That's not how you do it.
No.
And honestly, I believe this. They're there to protect themselves in that position with that pay, and that's it. Everybody else is just expendable.
They're just there to get a paycheck.
Yes, they're there for a paycheck. That's it. Nothing else.
But just because you're in one of those positions doesn't mean you're a good leader.
No, you're probably
because
not.
Because really, you should be looking out for your people.
Yeah, you're not.
And, I mean, that's what a good leader does.
They do. Absolutely. That's number one thing.
And they don't put up with BS.
No.
Because you want to keep your people under you happy, in order, productive.
Yeah.
But, you cannot, drama and BS that goes on.
No, you can't.
I find that a lot of managers and leaders don't have a spine. Or they play like, well, I didn't know game. I didn't know that was going on game.
Uh-huh.
It's very common.
Yeah, they pass the buck.
Yeah.
That's what we call it.
Pass the buck.
They pass the buck.
So literally this little kid who should have got suspended was back in school the next day.
Yep. And it's still there.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Beating the shit out of everybody.
That's horrible.
If he stabs somebody in there, I'm telling you, it's going to be on.
Oh, yeah. Let's hope not.
I've had enough.
They need to move him. We'll see what happens.
I hope people watch this segment because it's really...
It's important.
It is important.
Because it's not just
it's
schools
important
here.
to know.
It's all the schools.
You're sending your kid to school. You don't even know who they're in there with.
No.
Because obviously they don't do anything about these kids. They know that they're a problem. They're assaulting people. They're assaulting teachers. They're saying that death threats are going to kill people. And the parents who, of the other kids have no idea this is going on.
No.
And no one's doing a thing about it.
If they did know, they wouldn't send their kid. I know I wouldn't. Would you? I wouldn't. No. It wouldn't happen. My 5-year-old, I don't care what grade he was in. He's not going there.
Nope.
You handle that problem, and I will send him back.
Yep. And no one knows.
And if you don't want to handle the problem...
Because it's personal, and you can't tell about their mental problems, and you can't tell about... But I'm sorry, it's a safety issue.
It is a safety issue.
So where do you draw the line?
Right.
It's a safety issue where he could harm other people.
Yeah.
Where do you draw the line on that? Right?
Honestly,
of keeping that
at least
private,
in my mind, yep.
Because of health reasons. Or,
well, the problem is there was no action. So once that little boy threatened violence, they should have a protocol for that. You're going to do A, B, C, and D.
Yep.
Right?
Yes.
This is the protocol for whenever a student
That's a good
tells
idea.
another student, either however it happens, tells a teacher, tells another student on campus, off campus, does not matter. As soon as that happens, you have a certain protocol that student has to go through.
And that way they all know you can't even say that crap joking around.
No,
you know what I mean?
Because it's not funny anymore.
You that way everybody knows there's a protocol. You get caught and you do that, or you say this, or you say that. Here's what's going to happen to you.
I mean, it started with...
Right now, these kids are out of control. They're doing whatever they want to do. So, and no one gives a shit.
There should be a protocol in place. And you know what? I'm not an educator. I can't come up with that. But I mean...
I feel,
just as far as like a protocol is pretty simple.
To our teachers and our principals and everybody, because they're going by the Board of Ed's guidelines.
Oh yeah, they're using their policies and procedures, and
so they're
they need to
subject
change.
to those.
Yeah, they need to change.
But those rally together and got to make a change, because it's horrible. This is dangerous.
It is, and the bad part is it's children, and it shouldn't be like that. But reality is that there are
problems. There are kids with mental problems.
There are, and they need help. But honestly, by keep putting him in the same environment, thinking you're going to get a different response because you did,
is insanity.
It's insane. So you need protocols to keep everyone safe.
So nothing's happened. They're doing the same thing. They all have to do the same thing every day with this kid. It's insane.
It is insane. I feel bad for them all.
Yeah,
including that little boy. He needs help.
Yes,
he needs help, and he's not getting it.
No, and he's going to get worse the older he gets.
Yep.
To where nobody's going to be able to fix the problem.
Yep. And it's going to get worse. And he would eventually, I think. I mean, when they're that little and they start preaching it and saying they're going to hurt people and they do it for a long period of time, it's just a matter of time.
This has been going on.
It's just a matter of time.
For a long time.
Yeah, it's a matter of time. Hey, thanks again for watching. Hit that like and subscribe button and become a resident of the mountain. Thanks again.